Hey guys, this is going to be a video more of like an introduction to me, my business at Outbound Acceleration, beyond trying to just like be educational, just giving you guys a better understanding of where we're at Outbound Acceleration. And I'm planning on posting a lot more on this YouTube account. And I just want to give an intro to it. I just want to tell you guys what it's all about. So without further ado, I'll just get right into it. And the title of this video is How I Generated $660,000 in deal flow for Outbound Acceleration in the past 7 months. But before I go into that, I'd love to just give you guys a better understanding of who I am. So my name's Jack Cotogno-Buchan. I'm a co-founder at Outbound Acceleration, and what we do is we help B2B companies scale and increase deal flow with cold email and LinkedIn outreach, as well as managing the entire top of funnel that we generate from positive responses and objections. We manage that, so all you have to worry about is going on discovery calls with people who are interested. And I'm bringing you guys on a journey to show you how my agency is going to reach 100K MRR, and I'll be sharing things that I learned along the way and things that I've learned already. And I'm making lead gen content so that other B2B companies can and business owners can just take their companies to the next level and scale with me. That's that's the purpose of this video. So let me give you guys some actual proof that over the past 7 months, if you look right here, we started June 11th, this campaign. And right now it's January 24th, so it's been about 7.5 months. Sorry for the clickbait in the title. But we sent 900,000 emails in that span of time, and we've learned a lot along the way, for sure. Um, we were able to generate 500 interested responses. And out of those 580 interested responses, we were able to get 220 meetings. So that's about little over about 35%, 36% of those people actually turned into booked calls. And so 220 meetings that we were able to get, and our minimum pricing is $3,000 a month. So that is equivalent to $660,000 in deal flow. So how did I do it? Let's start off with who I actually contacted. At first, in the beginning of us actually doing outreach, we were familiar with the finance industry. Me and my partner Daniel both graduated with finance degrees. We were getting finance internships. So we figured, why not niche down to finance? Everyone tells us we have to niche down. So why don't we niche down to what we're familiar with? And it was great. We got a couple clients from that, but we noticed that our system can be made for people in all industries, anyone who's B2B. And the only thing that really changes is industry language, which could be learned, scripts, and the leads that we're contacting. Other than that, the system is completely the same. So once we made that decision, it basically 10x'd our total addressable market and allowed us to reach out to so much more people, to book so much more calls and get so much more clients. So something I tell a lot of people who are doing cold email, and they tell me, Jack, I'm only getting, a couple meetings booked every single month. But then I look at their campaigns and they're sending maybe 15,000, 20,000 emails a month. And I'm like, okay, we need to get those numbers up. Why aren't you sending 50,000? Why aren't you sending 100,000 emails a month? Cold email is one of those marketing techniques where you can scale it unlike anything else. Cold email and ads. So if you're doing cold calls, if your SDRs are doing cold calls, how do you 2x the amount of cold calls you're making? You have to double the amount of SDRs. You have to train more SDRs, right? But if you're doing cold email and you want to double the amount of cold emails that you're sending, all you have to do is just double the amount of inboxes and domains and double the amount of the leads that you're actually contacting. So after we learned a lesson on that, since about August, we've been sending 7,000 to 8,000 emails every single day, every single business day. We send from Monday to Saturday. We get a lot of positive responses on Saturday. So we find, why not just send it on Saturday as well? But of course, we don't send on Sunday. And so a question you might be asking is, how could I be having one campaign that's reaching out to so many different industries, but not using industry-specific language? Well, the answer to this is simple. This is where the AI element comes in to our cold email campaigns. We use a software called Clayagent, and what it essentially does is it allows us to call out each prospect's ideal client profile based off of the information that's on their website. So, for example, and this is our email script right here. So if you want a B2B lead gen agency, go ahead, take it. I go ahead. So yeah, I open, you guys, you do what you want with it. But the highlighted part of this email is the only thing that makes each message different, and that's calling out who that prospect's ICP is. We're able to get so niche down. Verified architects at construction firms focused on sustainable and energy efficient building projects. So we can get so niche down on who we're calling out, saying that we can contact on the prospect's behalf. They say, wow, this really separates this email from a million other lead gen agency emails that I receive every single day. And that's what I actually hear from people going on the phone with us. They're saying, I get a million of these emails every single day, but yours stood out to me. So you got me on the call. And this is why. You have to have some element of AI customization in your cold email if the campaign isn't like 2,000 people with a very specific niche in a very specific industry where you're using industry specific language, because you need to be able to build the trust to show that you're actually doing your research on the messages that you send, or else you'll just end up in the spam folder. And so we do the lead magnet approach, right? I have a video on how to create cold email scripts without lead magnets. I'll put the link right here above, right here. And yeah, I can feel free to check that out. But the lead magnet approach, the way we convert those PRs into booked calls is we present them to the lead magnet. Sometimes people are just able to discern, saying, hey, I know I want to work with a lead gen agency. This guy has a good script, and they just ask for a call right away. But what ends up usually happening, and this is how you want it to be on almost all email scripts, you just want to get the prospect to say yes to something on the first email, calling out a pain. It could be anything, but you want to get the person in agreement with what you're talking about on the first email. You don't want to book the call right away. That's too salesy. So when the person says, yes, I do want to see that campaign with 1,000 verified architects, what we do is we say, great. We use RevReply to respond to these people in under 5 minutes. And we say, great. Happy that you want to learn more. I want to make it as specifically tailored to you as possible. I want to make sure it has the right people in your ICP. And I also want to make sure that the scripts are A1, as good as possible. That just means I have to gather a few pieces of information for your campaign. And so that's how we sell a discovery call. And it will say, hey, I'm available Tuesday at 4 p.m. or Thursday at 2 p.m. And it'll have a hyperlink for those people to actually click on the link and book a call. And RevReply is able to link up with my calendar so that it won't propose times when I'm busy. So that's just I love RevReply, and I would recommend it to anybody who's doing cold email. It's a great tool. So that's how we get about 50 to 60% of our actual meetings booked through RevReply. And I'd say we also get about like 20 to 30% of our meetings booked through following up with them on the phone. This is so underestimated because nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to pick up the phone and actually call the leads who show some intent. So we try to call them on the same day. And all we do is we just address their positive response, or we address their objection. And we just have the calendar up and we book a call with them. And we find out where they're at. And yeah, that's how we book a call, by actually speaking to them on the phone. And we're also doing outreach on LinkedIn. So once these people actually positively respond and they're not responding to our initial email, we're also reaching out to them on LinkedIn. So we're getting in contact with them on LinkedIn, on the phone, and on email. And so that's what allowed us to get $660,000 in deal flow, right, in the past 7.5 months. Now, I'll go into more detail later on in my later on videos about scripts, getting lead lists, etc. And so I just thought this would be a good intro to my email account. And yeah, I hope you guys grow with me. Take care.